Hey everyone, welcome. It's Rick. I'm going to try and salvage this piece up here. So this is sap green with burnt umber mixed into it. This is burnt umber with some black in it. I got black and white. That's my primary colors, blue, yellow, and red. And this is ultramarine. I put a little violet in it and mixed some white, you can see, for the sky. And this is my little studio corner. Make sure you open up a window in your room. Don't be in a room that's not ventilated. I'm not sure how potent this acrylic paint is, but you should be careful not to inhale too much of it in. Have some ventilation in your room. And I'm using all Utrecht paint. I'm going to try and salvage this piece. I'm going to use I'm going to start with a big brush, a 12, number 12 filbert, okay? And I have clean water here, that's all. I'm not using any agent to help it move, but I'm probably gonna save that mountain. I'm gonna redo the sky here. I'll try and save that mountain. You can see my sky has a little bit of violet in there. You see that? Doesn't that look awesome? We're going to really make this painting look good, okay? You thought it was good before, we're gonna make it even look better. I want to give it a little more depth is what I want to do to it. I want to give it some distance. Okay, so there, I just repainted the sky. I'm going to add a few clouds in here just for later on, or lighten this up down here first. Let me lighten up the horizon here a bit. Now I'm going to put a few white streaks in here and there. Maybe these clouds are going to kind of go swoop up this way. Just like that. There we go. I'm going to try and keep the tops bright and kind of blend the bottom parts in. There we go. Kind of like that. I'm going to fix my mountain now. I'm going to mix some black and white. Get a nice dark. Let's make a dark color here. We'll put another, maybe some small peaks in here on the side. Put it like mountain across the whole scene, I guess. I'm going to redo pretty much the whole painting. I want to save that mountain though, part of it. We'll put a few more outcrops on it up there, like that. Grab a little titanium white and let's kind of lighten up the bottom a little bit. And we are going to bring that mountain down just a little more. Already I think it's looking better. Let me make sure my camera's zoomed in good. I think it's already looking 10 times better. try and make some terrain come down, maybe like an angle here this way, and then take some of that burnt umber mixture and put some terrain down this way. This is burnt umber. I already mixed it with a little black to make it dark. If you notice, I'm making the hills a little less steep. This is burnt umber. I'm mixing into that white I just put up there to give this like a brownish color back here. I'm not really standing in the best spot here, so you got to keep that in mind. Usually I would stand in front here and paint like this, okay? But I'm standing off to the side, so keep that in mind. I know you guys are forgiving. I get mostly good comments. I do get some not so good comments, but some. I'm going to draw some of this brown back and create some more hills in there just by putting a dark color in there. Blend it in. This is that burnt umber. Okay, this is looking pretty good. What do you think of that so far? Mix a little white down here on the bottom of this hill. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm just putting color in to design, get some kind of design going, okay? And then you stand back and look at it. Stand back, look at it, and see what it needs. I kind of like this water down here. I really do. But I'll probably fix the rocks. Let's keep the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more terrain around. I'm going to use the sap green. This is sap green with burnt umber. And let's line the pond in here real quick. We'll put some more ground in here. And maybe I'm going to have it come out here a little more and have some foreground right in here. And just put some grass down here. There we go. I kind of like that. I'll keep this over here very simple the way I have it. We'll just run this out the side here. Little groundwork over here. Just getting the underpaint on. Going pretty loose with the paint, just blending it in. Let's change the color of that water now. Rinse your brush off. Since this is going to be a small pond, the water is going to be pretty much just level. So let's run our paint kind of straight across. It's okay if some of that color gets in there with it. We want it to mix in there a bit. It's going to be a small pond. No wind, just flat. Water would be flat, and we'd probably put some twigs in there at the end. Sometimes you find some fish in here, in these ponds. You never know, like the small ponds could have fish in there. What happens if there's a big lake over here, an eagle, he'll grab a fish, he'll be flying, and he could drop the fish in that pond. And if that fish has eggs, and boom, all of a sudden you got a pond full of trout. So it is possible to get fish in your small ponds. You never know. All right, there's I just made that all up. Don't take that to the bank. All right, there's our landscape. I really like that. Now, what I'm going to do right now, before I start working on the color of all this terrain, I'm gonna put some trees in over here. I'm going to use this sap green that I mixed with the burnt umber. And let's just put some indications of trees on these back hills, okay? Just with a fan brush. You can make some of the spots a little higher so it... Now take your brush and at the bottom pull some of the color to the left. Just at the bottom. You could bring some of that color down in here too to create some shadows. Very good. Now, depending, I'm getting more paint on my fan brush. It's a number 2. It's an oil and acrylic brush. Let's put some trees up here. Depending on how big you make these trees is how far this is going to look. Now, if you make these trees big, you're going to make these hills kind of move a little closer to us. So I want this to be a far, far away scene. So those are going to be small mountains, okay? I mean small trees, not small mountains. Keep that in mind. Now, like if I put a big tree here, guess what? It's going to move those hills closer to us and it's going to turn those into bushes, is what would happen. So let's make some very small trees now on this back hill. Really small. Make sure you fill in the top part of your trees with some paint. Don't leave them hanging like with no color in there. Pull that to the left. Make sure you keep this one small back there now. Really smaller than these here. Now if you want to make a little higher spot in here, Just do it like this to get some different heights in there, okay? You see that? Now we could have lightened up this mountain a little more, because when you put a dark color over the light, you see how the contrast looks? We can do that here, but I think it's light enough. I really do. Let's take our sap green with burnt umber mixture, and let's add just a few more trees here. Just a few, because I'm going to put a big tree over here. All right, there we go. That's enough distant trees. Doesn't that look cool? That looks really cool. Now you can continue this hill a little more with some paint by just bringing the hill down with dark color. And you can add more shadows in here if you want. I kind of like the way it looks now. All right, let's leave that alone. I kind of like the way it looks. I'm going to go ahead and put a big tree over here. I'm going to get a bigger fan brush. Where'd I put them all? This is a big fan brush. I want to have a big tree right here. So remember, I was trying to save this painting from the garbage. So let's put a big tree right up into the sky here. I'm using brown. I got a lot of brown here, but I'm going to highlight this tree. As soon as I'm done putting a couple trees in here, I'm going to highlight it. So I want this tree to be pretty big so I can highlight it really easy. So I'm going to put some big leaves on it, okay? Bring it down. And let's get wider at the bottom. Bring these leaves out pretty far down here. This is going to be probably the main attraction on the right side here. And I'm going to have some bushes down here. So might as well put some bush tops down here. Like that. Just add the color in. This is a nice color. When you mix burnt umber and sap green, you get this nice, rich, greenish brown color. It's perfect for making evergreen trees. Let's put a small one here. So it looks like it's behind this one. And put the leaves on. I know the evergreen tree, those are branches, but I call them leaves. And let's shape our tree a little here. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and, while that's drying a bit, I'm going to put a few bushes down on the top of our pond here with my fan brush. You could either put some color in there like this and then pull up on it if you want. Make the bushes look like they're going up with some branches, real loose looking. We come over here. And then we'll put some around the edge here. Real loose pull the bottom in our water one way. Really loose looking. Some bushes around here. I'm going to highlight all this. Look at that. What a great painting already. After 20 minutes, before and after. This is really cool. I'm going to try and flatten some of my paint here to help it dry quicker. And now I'm going to highlight these trees and bushes down here, okay? I'll probably bring these bushes up a little higher here. Maybe put a big one like right here. And these trees will be on the other side of the bushes. Now here's what we're going to do. Don't wet your brush. Don't clean your brush off, the fan brush. Grab a little bit of this sap green and burnt umber. Put it over here by itself. That doesn't even have to be that much, because save this for later. Just a little bit of that color. Now grab a little bit of white. Just a little. And let's lighten that color up. That's going to be our highlight color. See that? It's almost like I can see the green in there. I can see a light brown in there. But the good thing is it's not white. It doesn't look white. Now I'm going to, I guess I'll have to rinse my brush off to get the dark color off. Clean your brush off and then take a rag and dry it off pretty good. Now we're going to load the brush up. I'm going to go fast now. This is going to be a short video. I'm not going to finish the whole painting. I'm just showing you how you can cover an old painting if you want. Use the corner of your brush, and we're going to pick out the top parts of some of these branches here. You're going to touch very lightly and design this big tree over here. We're going to just hit on the right side of the tree some branches, just like that. The smaller you touch, the smaller the branches, okay? Let's load it up again. We got a smaller tree behind it. And just touch on the right side of that tree. Basically just highlighting the right side. We want to keep this side in the shadow, but some of this out here, guess what, is going to end up getting a little bit of light. So we can put a little light on some of these branches, okay? Coming around this side, you know what I mean? The light's hitting some of the branches here. You see that? Maybe I should zoom into that. No, you can see it. So the way I imagine the light is coming in, so it's not gonna hit this area here, but it'll hit some of this tree on the one side, okay? Let's design some bushes down here. What I want to do now though is I'm going to add a little, pull a little bit of that color to the side and add a little more white. You can just use I'm going to get the smaller fan brush. Mix that white into our highlight color and make it lighter. These bushes are going to be a little lighter than those. Now, take a look at your terrain down here. Your bushes. Let's start by putting we can start by putting these bushes in over here on the side. So what I see is I see some small bushes right down in here in the front. Then I see a bush over here. Just touch very lightly. Then I see a bush here. Just try and hit the top part and leave the bottom part dark. And let's make these bushes a little longer than normal. I put a little too much paint on there, see? You don't have to touch it too hard. You want to just barely touch, it, okay? Just like this. Let some of that dark show through. There's a nice bush. Now this one I want to bring from up above here. We'll put a bush right here, coming down. See that? And we'll put a bush right in here. Just got to touch lightly. Leave some of the dark underneath. And make your bushes a little longer. Like, don't make them really small little round bushes, okay? I've done that before. It doesn't look good. Like here, let's make this whole bush like this. We're going to go like this. Just on the top here. Just on the top here. Bring it down. And then over here, we're going to layer those bushes there. See that? Now they're going back. This is looking good. Now over here we got some different types of bushes. We're going to put a little grass at the bottom first. Let's put a little grass on the bottom of these bushes. Just touch. I'm just using the same color so I can hurry up. Now we're going to have some bushes here. I'm just going to make this one big bush right here because it looks pretty good. And these bushes are starting to go back like this. You got to practice your bushes and you got to be able to see what you want there, okay? I kind of like this. I could have used this brush for the tree. I used the bigger brush. You should, when you highlight, use a smaller fan brush. See, you can make smaller adjustments on your tree. So, but I ended up using the large one here. So use a smaller fan brush when you highlight, okay? Look at that. Now these are a little different there. If you want to take your brush, it's kind of difficult to get the color just right. You can pull some color up on these if you want it to look like grass. But like I said, it's a little more difficult to get it to look right. I'll give it a try, but there we go. Something like that. Make it look like grass instead of bushes. All right, this is looking good. Now take your dark color, burnt umber and black, and let's add a tree back here. Right on those hills there. Maybe it needs to be a little darker. let's add some trees on that hill there. They don't have to be big. I'm going to try and add a little. It would probably be okay to make those a little darker, but I like that. That looks good. So what I'm going to do instead, instead of making more trees here, I'm just going to line the top of that hill with some indications of bushes coming down, just to get some more foliage in the scene. Just like that. That's all you got to do. I really like that. Let's grab a small brush, and I'm going to use this sap green and burnt umber, mix a little white in it, and I'm going to try and make a pathway coming down. Just like that. I usually use a knife. It's some kind of pathway, like I like putting some pathways in the painting, and you can continue this pathway all the way up here if you want. You'll have to use a lighter color, maybe white. Let's run a little path from way back here. And then have it running down here. So then it continues all the way down. There we go. Something like that. I'm going to lighten that up back there, or darken it up. I usually use my knife, but there you go. Just put a pathway in there. I kind of like that. There we go, guys. Easy cover up. I really enjoyed this one. I have a few minutes to use a knife, and we're going to add a little sparkle in our water here with the knife. Just a touch of water underneath these bushes. And maybe a few out here in the water. Not too much and not too big. Just a little sparkle. Just a little sparkle in our painting. Very good. I did this on my last painting. You could take a little bit of white on your fan brush. Just a little bit of titanium white now, and let's hit some of this tree with a little bit of white. just some of the tops of the branches. Just right here in this section, that's it. No more. And then we'll hit some of it on a few of these bushes down here. A little titanium white. Maybe the light's just hitting right there. And across the pond, just on the round top parts, just a little bit of light. And that's it. Don't do all of it. Just a few sections where you think the light is peeking through. I'm just going to leave the mountains like that and the sky like that, and there we go. I'll work on it later, but thanks for watching. That's how you doctor up an old painting that you didn't like. You can make it, redo it, paint right over it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. I got my host here, my co-host. Let me see what Adam has to say.
If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I'd love to have you aboard. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I'd love to have you aboard.
That's Adam. He's my co-host. All right, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.